All right, GM, everyone. Welcome back in to the bag check. It's been a couple weeks since we've been able to do this. This was one of the streams that I was just like, hey, man, got other work to do, got other things to see, but we're here. I'm coming to you live from the frigid Midwest. It is sub 20 degrees outside. It is snowing, but it was a really interesting day in daily fantasy sports for the NFL, mostly because the games were so bad. All of the good games took place on Thursday, and I guess honestly you could probably count Bears Eagles as a good game. Like if you were thinking the Bears Eagles game, had it would have been on the main BR slate, like all the Eagles players would have been drafted. Hurts would have been drafted. AJ Brown would have been drafted. Devonta would have been drafted. Barkley would have been drafted. Swift would have been drafted. Roma Dunze would have been drafted. So we would have had quite a bit of stuff in there. If you guys missed the Gilcast, though, oh man, boy, did I play bad yesterday. I mean, shout out to all the guys in the ETR Discord who are on me for playing the ETR train team, because boy did I learn yesterday. Well, a lot of the time I will just play the most popular team in cash games because the risk honestly is pretty low. Like if you think about what is a cash game, well, really what you're just trying to do is you're just trying to beat people who are not paying attention. You're trying to beat people who don't understand what the activity of a cash game is. I'm totally fine, chopping. Like if it, because this is what I do. Every week when I go to play cash games, I go enter into all the massive or giant single entry double ups on DraftKings. You literally just go to the lobby, you type in giant or massive, and then I enter those, and then I create $51 head to heads, $52 head to heads, $53 head to heads, $55 head to heads. Sometimes I will create $10 head to heads. Sometimes I won't. I have not been creating the $10 head to heads, mostly because I not been feeling super confident about the teams. And yeah, I just played the train team yesterday. Andrew Wiggins sent this in our secret chat. He said that this was the team that a lot of people were playing: CJ Stroud, Devin Achane, Breece Hall, Khalil Shakir, JSN, Jaden Higgins, Oronde Gadsden, Ken Walker, and the Titans defense. Yeah, and honestly, should have just played the ETR straight opto or the Run the Sims straight opto. The Run the Sims straight opto with like nothing done to it. Let me pull this up right now. The Run the Sims opto had fucking Bowers in it. So if I go classic slate opto and I click generate lineups, the Run the Sims opto had 80 Mitchell in it. I don't well, I guess I don't remember it having Dawson. Oh, sorry, I Bowers excluded. There you go. So this is the top one. Stroud, Achane, Genty, JSN, Alec Pierce, 80 Mitchell, Bowers, Gadsden, and the Titans defense. I guess I probably should have just played that team. Ugh, just miserable. Artillery Frost followed me off the cliff. My boy Izzo said, times like these, I'm glad I'm not in the Discord. Every other week, yeah. MBF was a 3v3 off the train team. He swapped Hall for Devin Neal. He swapped JSN for Puka, and then he played Bowers instead of Gadsden. Beat the cash line by 0.52. Yeah, I mean, just sitting here looking at the 137.4 Run the Sims team that had 80 Mitchell and Bowers in it makes looking at this dog shit that I played, it's intolerable. I mean, it doesn't feel very good. But my day actually got saved. Does not happen like this all that often. My day got saved by a pretty good team in the Spy. I played Jacoby Brissett, Kamani Vidal, Devin Achane, Emeka Egbuka, bad, Marvin Harrison Jr., Adonai Mitchell, Trey McBride, Taysom Hill, and the 49ers defense. So I knew obviously what I wanted to do yesterday was I knew that I wanted to play Brissett, and I knew that I wanted to play Marvin Harrison Jr. I thought that Marvin Harrison Jr. was basically the best play of the slate in terms of what I expected him to be owned and in terms of what I expected his production to be. And I think I was pretty justified in that. I mean, I think in the end, I was very happy with what Marvin Harrison Jr. did on the field. So I'm cool with that. And my team in post contest sims, pretty good, 22% sim ROI. Pretty good stuff there. Do I wish that I wouldn't have played Taysom Hill? I mean, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into with the Taysom Hill situation. Taysom generated 2 rushing yards and had 1 reception for 5 yards. Had he scored a touchdown, obviously this lineup is quite a bit better. Another weird thing about the Sims yesterday was they were really jamming high-priced defenses, which I didn't love. Right, playing the high-priced defense, but I thought, well, hey, man, I'm saving the money with AD Mitchell. I'm not playing because the difference is if I had played the Titans defense instead of the 49ers, I could not have gotten to Puka or JSN with the Igbuka spot. I didn't even see what is the team that won. So the team that won the spy is my boy Celts 34. I don't actually know Celts 34, but I'm proud of him for getting a shipper here. He won the spy with CJ Stroud, 10 points. He also played Vidal. So he played McCaffrey instead of A-Chain or Bijan. 21 points from Nico, 11 points from Jaden Higgins, 27 points from AD Mitchell, 22 points from Brock Bowers, 15 points from Breece Hall, but most importantly, 30 freaking points. 30 freaking points from the Seahawks defense. I mean, I don't think I ever remember a defense scoring that many points. The Seattle defense with 30 points. I mean, there's got to be a way to check this. Is there some kind of historical DFS database? 30 points from the Seahawks defense is crazy. I didn't get a chance to watch Peter's stream earlier. Oh, I wanted to check what Pete scored, but it looks like Revertsy top. He finished in 528. Pete played a Stafford double with an 80% sim ROI. Shout out to Pete for that. The Legion of Boom scored 44. 44 is pretty nuts. But yeah, I honestly I didn't think about playing the Seahawks once yesterday. And in hindsight, it's the gift from Step Brothers. Seems kind of fucked up, right? Seems a little messed up to have not considered playing the Seahawks defense that scored 30 points. But yeah, basically, if you played AD Mitchell yesterday, who was the gold star play, if you guys watched Thinking About DFS with Jacob Sanderson last week, AD Mitchell was on the cover. How about that? AD Mitchell on the cover of the Week 13 Thinking About DFS show with Davis Maddock and Jacob Sanderson. Feel pretty good about that. I don't know. Was anything else interesting here? I mean, salary cap DFS was whatever. I honestly did not spend a lot of time thinking about salary cap DFS because I was trying to finish all of my underdog stuff yesterday. Let's go look at some underdog results. So I actually ended up having some okay teams on BR yesterday. The old BR recap. Didn't put it all together on one team though. Very bad Thanksgiving slate. Only got $500 back on Thanksgiving over 240 drafts, so not great. But got $828 back on 149 BR. Oh, my boy DC Fantasy got 6th. King in the North Skull. Is this you, bro? Or are you talking about in the BR? Jacoby Brissett, Kamani Vidal, Devin Neal, Igbuka. Wow, Igbuka and Wilson. A.D. Mitchell, Trey McBride and Bowers. Come on, guys. Give my boy DC Fantasy 736 a golf clap for McBride and Bowers. That is some phenomenal stuff from my guy there. Whew, incredible. And he got the A.D. Mitchell in. Dude, if you play, so I not to dig in here, but if you had done Marvin Harrison Jr. instead of Michael Wilson, and then basically any receiver other than Igbuka, you win by like a lot. Not that I'm not proud of you. I am very proud of you. You cashed for $5K here in the SPY. So shout out to my boy. Shout out to my boy there. Rabona King. We will get into some of the BBMDB stuff here in a little bit. I want to finish recapping this. It looks like I had a good team in this cover 3. I finished in 4th, a point and a half out of 2nd. What was the team? The team was Jacoby Brissett, who I really liked, Devin A-Chain, Bucky Irving, who I really, really liked, actually. Bucky Irving, 14% drafted. Nico Collins with the rushing touchdown. Marv, who did end up being disappointing, and then Brock Bowers at 20 points. So, pretty solid team there. Basically, anyone. It's very funny, but this team would have been way better with Jacoby Brissett unstacked. You know, Jacoby Brissett replace Marvin Harrison Jr. with anyone else, and I probably win. Looking at the main BR, the winning team was from B-Sam, and he did Jacoby Brissett, Bijan Robinson, Kamani Vidal, Nico Collins, Lad McConkey with only 11 points, and then Trey McBride with 18. So we just nutted out the Bijan and the Kamani Vidal. My best team finished in 143rd place with Jacoby Brissett. Oh, this is going to be so annoying. So I had a Jacoby Brissett, Devin A-Chain, Kamani Vidal, but then Michael Wilson, Jacoby Myers, and Brock Bowers. So anyone, my 2 best teams, Jacoby Brissett teams that would have been better unstacked as opposed to stacking them. And then this is very funny. So Pete earlier on his stream was looking at some of the worst teams in the contest. And I told him in the chat, I was like, Pete, man, if you're going to show my terrible teams, you got to show my Tyrod Taylor 1.07% drafted, Bijan, Genty, Igbuka, A.D. Mitchell, Trey McBride. I mean, this team, basically, if Genty is Vidal and if Igbuka is anyone else, I win main BR with the Tyrod Taylor team. Don't know what Alec Pierce is doing on. Oh, fucking CJ Stroud. Man, a lot of these. I drafted a lot of Bowers. So my exposures yesterday, Trey McBride, my most drafted. Bowers, my second most drafted. A-Chain. Man, falling for ETN yesterday, so brutal because I did really like Kamani Vidal. And if I would have just hammered Vidal instead of ETN, I definitely find a winner in there. So that is a little bit frustrating. I will not be maxing the scramble because I don't think I have any kind of quantifiable edge in that contest. I'd have to think a lot more about what a good strategy for that would be. But yeah, I liked the BR stuff a good bit yesterday. I really felt good about all these teams. I mean, even like these teams right here, like Dimes at 15% without Pierce at 3%. What I was doing is I was doing a lot of scrolls yesterday, like Bucky Irving, 22% with Kyle Pitts and Baker Mayfield, 34% Rico Dowdle, 36% Brian Thomas with 45% Trevor Lawrence. We've got this team actually no scrolls other than Kyle Pitts. Man, how about this one? I mean, Travis Etienne Jr. and Justin Jefferson combining for 5 points. Oh, dude, Jacoby Brissett, Bijan Robinson, the sicko 80 Mitchell click with Trey McBride. Dude, we were close. I feel very good. Now obviously the what would you call it? The sicko community or the math based community, they would be looking at this being like, Davis, you're so stupid. Why would you ever click 80 Mitchell? And I guess the way I felt about this particular slate was the projection range was so flat that I felt as if there was a large amount of freedom compared to a normal slate in terms of kind of my boy Blender, click whoever you want. There were just such large groups of guys who were all projected the same. Here, let me pull up FanDuel scoring, which is a closer analog to what underdog scoring is. So at running back, you've got James Cook for 17. Well, how about this? Genty at 15.2, all the way down to Quinshon Judkins at 11.92. Then at wide receiver, you've got Jalen Waddle at 13.48, all the way down to Michael Pittman Jr. at 10. These dudes are all the same. I mean, what was Adonai Mitchell projected for on Run the Sims? 7.26. So compare that to Justin Jefferson at 10.4. You're giving up like 3 points, which in the grand scheme of things is not a ton. Brian Thomas Jr., 9.3. Michael Wilson, 8.9. Darnell Mooney, 8.85. The ridiculously low owned stacks sim quite well, even if they don't project that well. I honestly, Zachary, I really couldn't say. Zachary says, honestly, if you sim it out, the idiots aren't the ones scrolling. It's the ones taking the 100% drafted shitters. That is what I agree with. Now, should Pete be laughing at me for taking, let's scroll all the way. Let's look at some of my terrible teams. 26 points. 26 points here. Sam Darnold with ETN and Devin Neal. Jackson Smith and Jigba. 99% drafted Jalen Waddle. 8%. Oh, 8% drafted Taysom is terrible. I mean, 8% drafted Taysom is pretty bad. Devin Neal and Taysom together on the same team. Like, this is probably going to look terrible. Darnold, James Cook, ETN, JSN, Marvin Harrison, and Gadsden. I mean, it's pretty. 24 points has got to be about as low as it's ever been. 26 points has got to be about as bad as it ever gets. But I don't know. Like, I guess I was thinking about this. Is Taysom and Devin Neal really that bad together? Because kind of what you're saying is the Saints roll, right? I mean, it's not very good. Let's look at some of these other shitters. It's going to be all it's going to be all Darnold JSN, right? Yeah, Brees and ETN. See, like this team right here is actually way worse than I think this team is honestly worse than the Neal Taysom team. These are all really highly drafted combos. And I can actually even I've been meaning to pull this stuff up, but I can even use the draft caddy and show you guys this with the estimated most owned duo. And I can search for Darnold, or actually, let me search for Jackson Smith and Jigba. So you've got JSN and Darnold, not the most common permutational pairing here. Well, actually, I guess you'd want to search Darnold first, and then the Darnold teams. So you'd search Sam Darnold. There you go. So 8.8% of the field has Darnold with JSN. Like, that's crazy, right? I mean, that is really, really, really highly owned, Darnold and JSN. Mike C, his Tyrod team got 4th in the Wildcat. Everyone, give a little shout out to my boy Mike C there. The week Josh Allen dropped 45, I would have shipped with a 0.6% drafted, 1% drafted Brissett Wilson. Oh, that right there, brother. That's pain. That's pain. I don't know. Pete did get me looking at some of these terrible teams is very funny. I mean, Josh Allen, ETN, Walker, Khalil Shakir. Okay, never do that again, Davis. No, never, dude. Just never again with Khalil Shakir. Trey Tucker. Why did I draft Trey Tucker? Like, what is this? See, that's bad. Taking Trey Tucker is bad. Taking AD Mitchell, totally defensible. Taking Trey Tucker, not defensible. I know what I was thinking. I was like, oh, dude, you took Gadsden. You need to bring back this right here is terrible. This is way too thin. Because Shakir doesn't project well. This team projects awful. This team is more defensible. This team right here with Taysom is more defensible. A lot of these at 44. Herbert, a 3 wide receiver team. 3 wide receiver yesterday should have been better. Or I should have drafted more 3 wide receiver teams yesterday, I think probably. Yeah, JSN is just on all these low teams. Tua, Brees, Bucky. Yeah, it's just Tua, JSN. I was pretty into Tua. You know, sometimes it just doesn't come off. This is yes. So Mookie is hitting the nail on the head there. You get in trouble when you're scrolling for no reason. Once you're scrolling past guys who project better and are not getting drafted as well, there's no point. So this is a great point. The AD Mitchell scroll, I will defend that. You know, even if the cabal of smart people, like if Peter and Nez and Crutches and all the guys who are really, really good at BR told me I was really stupid for taking Mitchell, I would argue with them. I'd say I'm not stupid for taking AD Mitchell. Mitchell was being underprojected, and there are real reasons to think that Mitchell is a good click. But if those same guys were like, Davis, you're so stupid for clicking Trey Tucker, I would be like, you know what, guys, you're right. Clicking Trey Tucker was a really bad idea. I just should not have done that, even a single time. Stafford, ETN, Marks. So like this team, I think is actually kind of defensible. Like that team, I think is fine. I think Marks was a fine click. There's just too much ETN on here. Like Mooney, honestly, probably a fine click. I don't know. Maybe not. Jacoby Myers with the 18 ball feels okay. Overall, I think it was kind of, I did play one team on FanDuel that I didn't even ever end up looking to see how it did. This is the team I played on FanDuel. 15% owned Stafford, 22% owned Kenneth Walker, 10% owned Genty, 26% owned Puka, 16% Devontae Adams, 7% drafted Brian Thomas Jr. Darren Waller was minimum salary on FanDuel, so I played him at 22%. Kamani Vidal, and then the Titans defense. Wonder what won this contest. Of course, it was Jacoby, A-Chain, Brees, 3%. Wow, 9.3% drafted Mechie in the shipper. Just goes to show you. If the Bills drafted Worthy, we are still having the same conversation. What do you, in the sense that Xavier Worthy is bad? I don't think you're going to find anyone around here who's disagreeing with you that Xavier Worthy's bad. Xavier Worthy's had his opportunities, and he's proven that he is not up to the task. Is Aaron Jones going to be out for a few weeks? We probably won't know that until Wednesday. My guess is we'll get to that on Wednesday. But shout out to all the winners in the BR streets. Oh, looks like I cashed my one goal line stand entry. What was the goal line stand winner? Jacoby, unstacked, with two Jaguars. Jacoby, Bijan, Nico Collins, Chris Olave, Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange. So all 100% drafted fellas. All right, Cloak Clover says Joe Brady is the problem. Worthy wouldn't change that. Yeah, well, people are saying Andy Reid might be the problem. Do we think it's bad to fade expensive DSTs in good matches in DFS? I exclusively play punt DSTs, and I'm wondering if that's an oversight. So I'll tell you what I generally think about this, which is that defenses are so hard to project because it's just about touchdowns. How many defensive touchdowns do you get? The Titans, like yesterday, the Panthers were 2,100. I believe actually, the Panthers defense was in the Millie winning lineup. Let me confirm this so that I'm not bullshitting with you. Okay, I'm wrong. Never mind. The Millie winning lineup was Jacoby Brissett, Kamani Vidal, Bijan Robinson, Nico Collins, Tedoroy McMillan, A.D. Mitchell, Dalton Schultz, Brock Bowers in the flex, and the Seahawks defense. But the Panthers defense also smashed yesterday. And let's say that JSN had gotten 35 yesterday, you would not have been able to win with the Seahawks defense, almost regardless of how many points they scored. You would have needed to have the Panthers. So I don't think that you need to. I don't think you should make a hard and fast rule about either thing. But let's let's go back. Run the Sims tool, Sim Runner. We'll go. Let's just go look at the last sim I ran yesterday. Classic DraftKings. Oh, they're already gone. Never mind. They're already gone. But like I know that I was getting a lot of 49ers defense, which normally I would not play. A non-correlated lineup won the Millie. Imagine that. Almost like correlation doesn't matter. Well, the thing about that, Mr. Donaldson, is that the larger the contest, the less the correlation is going to matter, because you have to hit the nuts. To win $1 million, you have to hit the nuts, right? To win the Millie. Whereas to win the Spy, the score is much lower. So what did this team score? This team scored how many points? Does it not say in the screenshot? I don't know. This team scored a lot of points, right? Whereas the red zone winner scored 187. The red zone winner had Devontae Adams with Matt Stafford. We had a Jalen Coker bring back. So correlation was super important. Had both a stack and a bring back here. Then had Mechie and Mitchell as a correlated piece there. And they were both bringbacks to Bijan Robinson. And Kyle Pitts was also bring back. So this lineup, this red zone winning lineup, was nothing but correlation, right? A stack with a bring back, then 4 pieces from the I almost said the Braves, the Atlanta Falcons, New York Jets game. So there you go. My boy Stevel says 205 points. The optimum was 226.5. Meanwhile, the red zone winning team scores 187 using insane amounts of correlation. The correlation was what got this lineup onto Jalen Coker. The correlation was what got this lineup onto Kyle Pitts. The correlation was what I assume got this lineup on Bijan Robinson. I don't know. I'd have to go. I guess I'd have to talk to Grandpa Buzz about his process. What was the A.D. Mitchell thesis? Just that he would eventually start catching balls at a greater than 23% clip. Well, I can tell you my thesis from thinking about DFS, which is he is basically one of the 5 best route runners in football in terms of separation. And his targets per route run number was top 15 in the entire NFL in his 2-game sample with the New York Jets. And so we know that drops don't matter, right? I mean, that's something we are so far beyond this in the NFL. Like, we know, like, the list of guys who've struggled with drops, like Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper. Actually, here, I mean, we can just look this stuff up. Let's go Let's go look at premium stats. We'll go by position. We'll go wide receiver. And let's just go look at drops from like 5 years ago. And then you can tell me if these guys are any good. What is Mechie's targets per route run? It's not as good. It's not as good. All right, sort by drops. So Jameson Williams, Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Devontae Adams lead the NFL in drops this year. But let's go look at 2020. And let's go see if these guys improved in fantasy or got worse. Okay, so 2020, sorting by drops. There you go. Deontay Johnson, Tyreek Hill, Jerry Jeudy, DK Metcalf, Diggs. These are all guys who got better. You know, who were either good at the time or got better in fantasy football. Can you believe only 2 players got 100 receiving yards? Who's the other one? Mitchell got 100 yards. Who else got 100 yards? And I'm not saying that A.D. Mitchell is like, you know, the greatest receiver in NFL history or whatever. Green Stuff says that's a bad take. It matters for playing time, but doesn't matter in this case because the Jets wide receiver core. Well, I don't even know what you're saying, but he was never going to get benched. He was never going to get benched for the Jets. So I didn't consider him getting benched for 1 second in my play yesterday, which is why Zach Ertz was the one. Yes, I mean with A.D. Mitchell, the band of projections is going to be wide. I bet Deontay Johnson did get better. Deontay Johnson from 2020. Deontay Johnson 2020. Yes, Deontay Johnson went 88 for 923. Then the next year he went 107, 1108. So he did get better. He did get better. I've heard nothing. Do you guys know? Do you guys know if Tank Dell is coming back healthy for 2026? Feels like Ben Johnson is hiding Caleb with their power run game. I mean, he is definitely to some degree, right? I'm a huge Caleb Williams guy, but I can definitely admit Caleb is definitely being hidden. But also, you know who else is hidden? Let's keep it real, dude. The Lions are also hiding Jared Goff a little bit. I mean, can we be real about that? Can we be honest that that Jared Goff is being hidden a little bit by the Lions scheme? And Devon Bailey had 8 for 93 and 1 yesterday. Shout out to Devon Bailey. Yeah, Jags are kind of trying to hide Lawrence. 28 of 32 teams need to hide their quarterbacks, and you know what? I know a team that plays in Kansas City in the American Football Conference that maybe wishes they would have traded a 3rd-round pick for Breece Hall so they could ask their quarterback to do a little bit less. Where would I rank J-Mo for the playoffs? Pretty high, I guess. Yeah, and their offensive line. Your offensive line is the Bears' offensive line is great, and the old football coach saying 3 things can happen when you throw the ball, and only one of them is good, right? Referring to incompletions, interceptions. For playoff best ball, I probably am not drafting any Lions right now. Probably done with the Lions right now. Is there a single good quarterback coming out the next couple of years? It would very much depend on who you ask. If you ask me, no, I don't particularly like any of these quarterbacks. There are guys who have their fans though. Let's go look at the high stakes stuff because boy are we running hot in the high stakes. Okay. You wait till you guys see this. So, 2 league championships on the move for me here. So Alchemy finished 3rd in our league. Evermore finished 2nd in our league. We get a 128-116 win here. but look at how hot we ran. Only 17 for McCaffrey, 0 for Amon-Ra St. Brown for the opponent here. 4 points for Mike Gesicki with no T. Higgins. He had to start Devin Neal. He gets 9 points from Devin Neal. He leaves Tyler Algier on the bench. I mean, that one seems all right. But we had to start Pacheco. He got 5 points. I would assume moving forward, we're going to have to start Pacheco. I guess maybe we could start Devin Singletary. But we survived only getting 4 from JSN. Chase Brown. This team probably does not have the horses to get through, but we are on to the league championship next week. I'm assuming that this team probably cannot win the $1 million in the sprint. I mean, maybe we're going to be able to put Kincaid in over Ferguson if we want him. But we just don't have the running backs. Winning with 128 is pretty nice. Maybe we get lucky and we can start Sean Tucker. I don't know. It's pretty thin there. This team is much better. We are going to win with another relatively low score, but we have A-Chain on this team. We have Devontae Adams, but get this, dude. We have Gadsden and Bowers. We defeat Stevie Studs. We're going to get to like 130 or whatever. Why in the world do you own Zamir White? Because we got him for $1 last week because Ashton Genty hurt his ankle. So we bid $1 on Zamir White. Here to yap about my Vele bags. I'm proud of you, bro. Got to play a JSN CMC Puka team in the FFPC and beat. That's what we love to hear. So we faded JSN here. Dang, we could have. I'm saying, could we maybe have lost this one? Yeah, if he would have started. So if he would have started JMO over, over Pittman, and if he would have started Bryce Young instead of Nix, we probably could have lost this one. But we have Kareem Hunt on this team. We have Ramondre on this team. We have Dylan Sampson on this team. We have Juwan Jennings on this team. We have Purdy on this team. This team right here that started Dart, Montgomery, A-Chain, Waddle, Adams, Bowers, Tet, Gadsden, and the Chargers defense. This team, I think, could potentially make some noise in the FFPC postseason. I don't know. I don't know if it's $1 million team. Probably doesn't have enough of the league winning guys, but Bowers and Gadsden in the postseason feels pretty good. And we're on. So that means that, and then I'm in another one. Let me see if I can pull up the screenshot for you guys. I am in another co-owned one with, yes, here we go. So I'm in another co-owned one with the ship chasing guys, and we got a victory in this one. The score is not updated, but we have May left. So we got a huge game from Bowers. We still have Trevion left. We got a huge game from JMO. Rome sucked. Devin Neal did just enough. Rico Dowdle did just enough. But so we're through. So of the 7 FFPC leagues we did, that I did, I am in 3 league championships, which is like way above average. So that is super, super nice. Basically guaranteeing a winning year in high stakes stuff, which is it's also very hard to do considering I'm not having like that good of a best ball year. Not as bad as last year, but I'm not having like a great, crazy best ball year. So that stuff feels pretty good. And then, so this is very funny. These are my teams over on the NFFC. First place in the league with Nate. Second place in the league with Soccer Dave. Second place in the league with Leone. But we got crushed this week. So if I can go to live scores here. Stats, live scoring. All right, so this is the team with Nate. We lost 122 to 133. We got nothing from Barkley. We got nothing from JSN. We got nothing from Aaron Jones. And we're probably going to have to replace, well, I guess we'll replace Aaron Jones with A.D. Mitchell or Alec Pierce, or maybe Chris Godwin moving forward. And then the playoffs in the NFC doesn't start, or it starts this next week, I believe. FFPC seems easy. Put in enough for 3 teams 4 years ago, and it played at least 3 teams each year and haven't had a deposit. That's how they get you, though. It's almost kind of structured that way, but I agree. I mean, I think we were just talking about this on Ship Chasing. What was it, last Sunday, about how easy, or no, we were talking about on Ships Giving about just how easy the FFPC is because people play so poorly. This is the team with Soccer Dave. We lost to Gormanji, who actually is a longtime Ship Chaser. Look how shitty this is. 17 from CMC, 15 from JT, 19 from Josh Allen, 1.5 from Shakir, 9 points from Devonta, 5 points from Loveland. Left a 26 ball from Jacoby on the bench. Left 13 from Jennings on the bench. 12 points from Fannin. 19 points from the Bills defense on the bench there. So a loss there, not great. And then we actually almost were live in this one. So this was the high stakes single entry team with Leone. We did start Brissett on this one. 2 points from Justin Jefferson. Did get a good game from Higgins. Jalen Waddle sunk our battleship there. Maybe could have started Michael Carter. Maybe could have, I guess I was never going to start Michael Carter or Juwan Jennings in the flex. Yes, this was a very funny quote. Juwan Jennings is a hoe, and I want that. No, what was that guy's name? Malik Collins, the Cleveland Browns defender. Oh. All right. Well, there we go. Pretty good stuff in the old high stakes streets. Feel pretty good about how things are going. I mean, I think basically it's been a better year comprehensively all around in fantasy football for me. Been a pretty good year on YouTube. Had a kid, you can't complain, man. It's pretty good. It's pretty good to be alive. How can you complain, man? Beautiful day. Beautiful day to be drawing breath. And let's go look at everyone's favorite website, BBMDB.com, because I believe for the very first time, I have something to show you guys. This is going to be great. For the very first time, look at this advance rate. 16.7%. You are looking at someone who is advancing an absolutely average number of teams on Underdog Fantasy. This is the first time since I started this YouTube channel that has been true. Drafted 150 teams, advancing 25 of them. Let's go see. Let's go look at some of these that are pretty close. A team that's 87 points behind 0%, 71 points behind 2%. Let's go look at some of these. Okay, 24 points behind here. So we've got We've got a Goff, Love, Bryce, Genty, Breece Hall, Trevion Henderson, Tony Pollard, so dust. Dobbins, dust. St. Brown, probably dust. Maybe could be saved by Olave or Wicks. All summer long preaching 8.3% to get. I mean, exactly. It's perfectly all balanced. They're saying it. They're saying they say, Pat, bro. They're saying we are regressing to the mean. You just love to see it. This team could maybe get through. We've got a number here that are kind of on the border. So we've got, let's go to my lowest one that has any kind of percent chance. So this one's 27 points back. Mahomes and Goff, Achane, Kyron, Spears, Tootin. So this one's probably not. Another St. Brown worthy combo. Flowers, Adunze. That's probably too far behind. Honestly, I haven't checked. How can you check any teams in the top? So this is my best one. 2,300. So this will be my only one that gets any regular season money. It's got Dak and Caleb, JT and Bucky, Swift, Dylan Sampson, Swift and Monungai, Lamb and Pickens, DJ Moore, Chris Olave, Christian Kirk, Keenan Allen, De'Ami Brown, Kelsey Ertz, and Jatavian Sanders. Check the teams ahead, though, if they have any week 14 players. That feels like too much to do right now. What's the average amount of teams in the top 1,000 for a 150 maxer? Someone smarter than me could do that math. Yeah, my best team having De'Ami Brown on it is also very, very funny, right? Spend all summer saying that De'Ami Brown. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this next. And before we check the highest advance rate players, let's remind ourselves of what we went through this summer. You want to scroll the F down for Keandre Lambert-Smith?
Oh my fucking god!
I'm about it. I'm about it.
This is too good.
Someone slap the Keandre Lambert-Smith button. The first KLS reception, I was like, wow, he is the greatest wide receiver of all time. Is the 9th round too early for KLS? People are asking.
4.37 40 played at Auburn. This is Darius Slayton vibes.
My thesis is at least not that he is Jerry Rice's kid. I mean, KLS didn't matter, but you can imagine if he did. You can imagine. You know, Jared, I have not heard from Chess Liam. Chess Liam, he sent me a message after my son was born, you know, told me congratulations and all that stuff. But yeah, haven't heard. I mean, you know, he's still grinding in the chess streets. There would be no better way to end the season than De'Ami Brown going 4-50-2 in week 17 to win 7 figures for me. You know, let's I honestly do not know this. Let's go to Fantasy Life and let's go to the game logs. I how many routes did he run yesterday? How many routes for De'Ami Brown with Brian Thomas Jr. back yesterday? De'Ami Brown in week 12 ran 3%. 3% of the team's routes. Was KLS active yesterday? That's a good one. Was KLS active yesterday for the Chargers? I bet he wasn't. Keandre Lambert-Smith was not active. Has not been active since week 9. There's not a BBM site. There's not a BBMDB site for DraftKings, I don't think. Honestly, directionally accurate with Gadsden. I actually have 2 Gadsden teams in healthy scratch. Okay, there you go. Oh, yes, because that was week 12. Yeah, it's week 13. He was a healthy scratch. Yeah. How about it? I've got a lot of really good DK best ball teams with KLS and AD Mitchell. Yeah, I've got some AD Mitchell. I've got some Wicks over on DraftKings. All right, let's do this. So let's see, what is Jonathan Taylor's advance right now? We've got Jonathan Taylor advance rate to 50.6%. Still holding out on the Heat. What Heat, brother? Oh, no. It's very cold in the Midwestern United States right now. It's like 19 degrees and snowing. outside. Jets dropped bombs. It's very cold. So he's gonna end up being less than a 50% advance rate guy for the top advance rate players because isn't the Colts bye week next week? Week 14 bye weeks. Are they done? What's the week 14 buys? Week 14 is the Panther. Okay, no, they've already had theirs. Panthers, Patriots, Giants, and the 49ers. I mean, all that's happened with Gadsden is that they just haven't really been throwing. That's really all. So 50% advance rate for Jonathan Taylor. Jackson Smith and Jigba is at a 36% advance rate. Rico Dowdle is at a 33.1% advance rate. What's the Rico Dowdle Javonte combo at? 51%. Rico and Javonte together is 51%. That is such a super boost, right? Because those were late round guys that were just like super easy to get. But yeah, that happened yesterday. Is Gadsden is legit losing snaps to their H-back because their line is so decimated. I believe this site, Best Ball Data Muse, shout out to my guy, hanging out with him. I think it's got the highest advanced rate picks somewhere. There you go. Top advanced rate players. So this is this might just be specific to me, but here we go. So we've got, let me zoom in on this a little bit. No, that's not going to do it. So we've got the highest contest advance rate. Dak is 29%. Stafford's 25%. Mahomes is 25%. That feels high. That feels high for Patrick Mahomes. Dimes is 24%. May 23. Caleb 23. Darnold a really high advance rate. Goff pretty high. Herbert pretty high. So the only player in the pool higher, this is actually crazy. The only player in the pool higher than 38% is Jonathan Taylor. You know what? That's a good tweet. I'm going to send that. There is only one player in Best Ball Mania whose advance rate is higher than 38%. It is Jonathan Taylor with a 50% advance rate. That's wild to only have that's really wild to only have one guy above 38%. That's very very uncommon. Yeah, so this is really interesting. Mahomes is the quarterback 2 on the year, but all of his weapons kind of stink. I guess Kelsey really good advance rate. So Kelsey is a 24% advance rate guy, but Worthy a really low advance rate guy. And actually, Rashee Rice is only a 20% advance rate guy. I mean, isn't that very interesting? Rashee Rice. So Kelsey is the tight end too, but yes, a very quiet one. So let's go Rashee Rice. So Rashee Rice advance rate is 20.9%. But if you do it with Mahomes, the advance rate is 29%. And then can you toss Kelsey in there? So Kelsey makes it 36%. But what if we do Rice and Mahomes, but no Worthy? So Rice, Mahomes, no Worthy is 32% advance rate. Yeah. Yeah, Rashee being 20 is crazy. I guess it does just go to show you the power of a zero. Because Rashee Rice, I believe, is the 3rd highest scoring player in fantasy. in terms of points per game. I can look that up. So we've got half PPR, wide receiver, average. So Rashee Rice. So actually, Rashee Rice is 1. After JSN stinker, Rashee Rice is number 1. So after JSN and Puka busted in week 13, Rashee Rice is the highest scoring wide receiver in points per game in 0.5 PPR. That is pretty wild. Rashee Rice is the wide receiver 1. I didn't think that was in the range of outcomes. I don't think I did not imagine Rashee Rice being the wide receiver 1 in 0.5 PPR. That's pretty incredible. The guy who missed 6 games and spent half the time being drafted at the 2-3 turn having a 20%. I think that is kind of true. Yeah, I was gonna say if there was some way to just filter by 6th round Rashee, the advance rate would be really, really high. Like I guess you could do this. So Rashee Rice and like Jonathan Taylor or something. Rashee Rice and JT is a 57%. Rashee Rice and Trey McBride is only 23%. Interesting. Never know, but it's hard to see the Chiefs Broncos game winning you all the money. It's probably true. Who are the first round picks next year? Chase, JT, Bijan, Gibbs, CMC, Jason. I mean, I think right. I don't think Jefferson is going to be a first round pick next year. Doesn't that feel hard to imagine? I guess Rashee McBride was a common 2-3 turn jam. I'm trying to think of a way to filter for like maybe Rashee Rice Henderson. That feels like a real slappy turn. Rashee Rice Henderson is 18%. Rashee Rice Harvey, maybe. Rashee Rice and Harvey is a 16%. Rice JSN could be Rice, Jackson Smith, and Jigba is 46%. 46%. Man, if their quarterback room is, well, I guess I don't know. Is there any chance Kirk Cousins is the quarterback of the Vikings next year? No, what is? I bet the Ayuk advance rate is not as bad as you'd think. The Ayuk advance rate is 11%. Kyler Murray will end up on the Vikings. If the Vikings panic acquire Kyler Murray, then we will end up with a first round ADP on Kyler Murray, I think probably. Rice CMC is going to be really high. Rashee Rice and McCaffrey going to be very high. Yeah, 46%, including the number one team. The number one team in Best Ball Mania is Pat Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Caleb Williams, Christian McCaffrey, Devin Achane, Javonte, Keaton Missile, Brashard Smith, and Kyle Monangai, JSN, Pickens, Rice, Rome Odunze, Cedric Tillman, Torrey Horton, Trey Harris, Travis Kelce, and Colston Loveland. I don't think Liam is retired from YouTube, but he just is. Liam is grinding, bro. He is teaching. He's teaching chess school, man. He's out there. He's out there living the. He's out there living the dream. Rashi Addison. I mean, is that I don't know. I mean, it's got to be low, right? Because Addison's got to be really low. Rashi Addison. There's only 3,467 of them. There's one team that drafted Brissett in BBM. Okay, that's got to be funny. Jacoby Brissett is drafted, and it's not advancing. It's 645 points behind advancing. Gone South drafted Jacoby Brissett, Jared Stidham, Mac Jones, and Mason Rudolph with Genty, Alvin Kamara, and Jonathan Brooks. I don't know, Numi. Numi, we might have to get this draft thrown out. Mr. Newman. Who else is really high? I mean, Goddard is a really high advance rate. Devontae Adams, really high advance rate. Kayshon Boutte, really high advance rate. QJ would not have guessed 25% Olave advance rate. Just it looks like in general there just are not that many super booster players. Felipe Franks, bro, stay hip. CMC Taylor. There can't be that many CMC Taylor ones in the database. Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey. How many? 2,826 with a 70% advance rate. Man, I mean it doesn't get easier than that. Doesn't get easier. You just draft Jonathan Taylor, draft Christian McCaffrey, and log out. Charlie has a CMC Taylor. Yes. Where's my boy at? Here we go. My boy Charlie in 26th. Hurts, Darnold, Dimes, CMC Taylor, Bill, Tootin, Judkins, JSN, Devonta, Diggs, Jennings, Michael Pittman Jr., Luther Burden, Jake Ferguson, Harold Fannin, and AJ Barner. I mean, the JT Gibbs advance rate has got to be insane. Jonathan Taylor, Gibbs, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. There can't even be that many of these. It's got to be like 150 maybe total. 503 of them with a 92% advance rate. Easiest way. Just joined. Is there a way to view your non-BBM stats? The only way I know of is on bbmdb.com. You click on the portfolio button. You can select user and you can click view portfolio. I drafted 1,714 teams on Underdog Fantasy. I am advancing 284 of them for a 16.6% advance rate. My baseline expectation was to advance 331 of them. And I am not going to end up advancing that many. 25 in BBM with like 24 expected. 33 in the big board, which is just under expectation. Really bad advance rates in the puppy. I think there's a lot of reasons probably for that. Smashed the little Dalmatian too because I drafted a bunch of Judkins. Rated average in the little board 1, not the little board 2. Slightly above expectation in the Pomeranian. If this past week had been a playoff week, wonder how the JT Gibbs JSN teams would have done. Well, if you have the highest scoring player, no, Gibbs sucked too. So the JT Gibbs JSN teams would have been dusted. They just would have been out. Hybrid Dad has a terrible advance rate for a 150 maxer. 150, only 150 maxer that is worse than Gil. Hey, man, I am not going to say anything bad about anybody's advance rate. That is not my spot in the world because I lived the life of a bad advance rate guy. How many smaller entry tournaments did you auto? I think so. I know these two, the Dalmatian and the little Dalmatian 2 I autoed. One of these puppies, I don't remember which one. I auto drafted, and yes, I did set the player limits wrong on one of them. Do you guys remember which one? One of these I set up an auto draft on stream. I don't remember which one, but we did it on the stream, and I set it up and I did it wrong. Looks like all at about average in the Chihuahua, a little bit above average in the German Shepherd, below average in the Mini Schnauzer, average in the Poodle, way below average in the Badge Bros Brawl. Ooh, that might have been it. That might have been it. I think this is it. The Puppy 3, I slammed 150 slow on the stream. I believe that is correct. Way below average in the Husky. Not particularly high scoring teams there. Got a good one in the Pointer. Bo Nix, Sam Darnold, Gino, A-Chain Harvey, Warren, JCM, Dead Braylon Allen. Oh, Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, the advance rate saver. Puka and JSN with George Pickens, Debo, Pat Bryant, Troy Franklin, Kelsey Ferg, and Waller. Are any of these particularly high scoring? Honestly, no. One advancing team in the War Room. Wow, getting some points from Shadur. Dak, Anthony Richardson, Shadur, CMC, James Cook, Kamara, rest in peace, Ray Davis, Javonte Williams. Shout out to my boy Goods, who I haven't seen Goods around in the stream for a while, but I actually see him a lot drafting in my rooms on Underdog, but he wanted me to draft Javonte in the big board, and I did. Palm 3, you ought. Yes, one of these smaller contests I tried to enter on a plane, and it didn't end up working. I don't remember which one. Brian Thomas, Mike Evans. Oh, this wide receiver room. Look at all these zeros. Brian Thomas, 0. Mike Evans, 0. Luther Burden, basically a 0. Rashid Shaheed, basically a 0. Golden, 0. Shout out to Stephon Diggs, basically saving this wide receiver room. The Flock Community Contest, we've got 1, 2, 3 teams that might advance in the Flock Community Contest. What is your Palm 3 advance rate? Gotta be sick if it was high. Pomeranian 3, 36% advance rate. So shout out to me. Cam Ward, Tua, Gino, CMCH, Caleb Johnson. Travis Etienne Jr. Travis Etienne Jr. saving me. I did. So the reason why the reason why my little Dalmatian 2 teams are so good, I can actually pull this up and show you why my little Dalmatian 2 teams are so good. Exposure, select tournament. This is so funny. I mean, this is so in the weeds. Little Dalmatian 2, select user. Look at this Judkins. 86% Judkins, 52% Jawan Johnson. This was back when Corey Krosky-Merritt was kind of cheap. A lot of Jalen Warren, a lot of Woody Marks, 28% George Pickens. But really, it's that I drafted 87 Quinshon Judkins teams. Because this was, I want to say the Little Dalmatian 2. I want to say it was literally the day that Quinshon Judkins was unsuspended. And so I updated my rankings on patreon.com/DavisMattic. And I moved him up to the 8th round or whatever. So I just got 86% of Quinshon Judkins. So that's what you call rather being lucky than good. Yep, Jake. Honestly, just hope I get a finals team somewhere and break even so I can justify doing it all over again next year with the wife. I'm with you. 50% Daniel Jones in the Superflex contest is balling. You know what, Artillery Frost, you're asking the important questions. Dude, we're about to kill Buck right now. PH Smith 8. Mr. Buck drafted 663 teams. He's advancing 176, so very good advance rate for Buck. 28% advance rate in Best Ball Mania, 25% advance rate in the big board, but only a 33% advance rate in the Dalmatian. So there you go. I think I might try to do like a legitimate Best Ball Mania leaderboard show this week, so we will come back to that. Let's go on over to Underdog and let's cook up a pick 'em for tonight. We need to cook up a pick 'em for tonight. I've got a boost to use. Let's use the boost. Let's do a Trevion Henderson touchdown. I mean, that's the most obvious thing of all time. What are we thinking for the Giants side of the game? Who do I like at captain tonight? I mean, I'll tell you who's going to be underowned in the captain is Tyrone Tracy. We could do Dart 18.5 completions, maybe. When I search Brian Thomas, why is the baseline 19.3%? Because it's doing a lot of different contests, not just Best Ball Mania. I do like Singletary, but I'm worried they get behind too quickly. So the thing I'm worried about with Singletary is that they just end up way too far behind, and if they end up way too far behind, then Singletary will not have a chance to get there. I don't know about the Dart rushing yards. I mean, it feels like Daboll literally got fired because he was running Jackson Dart too much. So for Monday Night Football pick'em, I don't know about that. What are the odds for the Giants pass rushers? Patriots whole left side is out. Now that is in the weeds. All right, so hold on. Let me go Giants PFR. No, actually, let's go Giants PFF. We'll go premium stats. We'll go by position. We will go. We want edge rush rates, and we want to look at just the New York Giants. And really, what we want is total number of pass rushes. So total number of pass rushes: Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and is Thibodeau injured? So we got Burns for half a sack. We've got Abdul Carter for half a sack, and we've got Kayvon Thibodeau. So Thibodeau must be injured. I think I remember that. Burns is at 0.5. So you know what? Let's just do that. Let's just take Brian Burns for half a sack, and could do Diggs reception. You know what? Actually, let's not do that because I don't want to sweat that. We're gonna do 32.5 receiving yards for Theo Johnson, and then we are going to take. Can I just get like Drake May? Yeah, Drake May 1.5 passing touchdowns. That feels fine. Or do we want to toss? We could toss. Let's toss the Burns sack in there as well. And then what do we have for Terrell Jennings? Nothing for Terrell Jennings. Yeah, you know what? Let's just do that, and we'll do 25 Buckaroonskis on that one. We could do Trevion Henderson receptions. You know what? Let's just do that. We'll do Trevion Henderson 2.5 receptions. There you go. Move the old sidekick Reno out of the way. There you go. Bang. Done. We have got Trevion Henderson to score a touchdown. Theo Johnson, 32.5 receiving yards. Drake May, higher than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Brian Burns to record half a sack, and Trevion Henderson receptions. And you know what? Let me tweet that one out as well. Our Monday Night Football sweat equity cooked up on the stream today. Bang, bada bing, bada boom. Got it. Okay. There we go. $25 to win $491.71. And do we have, okay, we don't. We do not. Let's go do our first look. Let's go do our playbook entry. Jonathan Taylor, Devin A. Chain. I think this slate seems like a lot better games, right? Let's go fire up our first playbook. Our first look BR. Never know what you're gonna find out there in the streets for the first look BR. And let's go check out the lines over on Unabated and just see what there is out there. So for next Sunday, we've got a 43 total for Steelers Ravens, 44.5 for Seahawks Falcons, 33.5 for Titans Browns. 33.5. God, that's low. 48.5 for Colts Jags, 41.5 for Vikings Commanders, 41.5 for Dolphins Jets, 43.5 for Buccaneers Saints, 51.5 for Bengals Jets. I bet that's going to get higher. I bet that goes up. Broncos Raiders. Man. Broncos Raiders is going to sadly not be a good game. Bears Packers 45.5. Rams Cardinals. There you go. Oh, Jacoby Brissett. And thank God the Chiefs game is not on the main slate. Although that is going to be a very stressful game to sweat next year. If there's weather in that Titans game, it could go below 30. I mean, can you imagine a 28-point total? Who's going to be grinding the Excel World Championship? I mean, probably Michael Leone, right? All right, we have got the fourth pick, which I'm assuming is going to end up being James Cook. We've got Lamar against the Steelers, Burrow against the Bills, Knicks against the Raiders, Lawrence against Indianapolis as a scroll. Obviously, Jacoby is going to end up being drafted a ton. I will not be drafting JJ. Ooh, we might get Jaden Daniels back. So the Jaden Daniels Q tag. Josh Johnson with an ADP. That's a good bit. Jordan Love. That game I kind of like. I need the Chiefs to make the playoffs. Yeah, the AFC is absolutely disgusting. Caleb, I think I'll probably end up with Caleb a good bit in this stuff. At running back, we got Taylor, we got A-Chain, we got Cook, we got Bijan. Tough spot for Bijan. Jacobs against the Bears. Henry. Man, Judkins downhill. Not going to be that into Chase Brown. Bucky is going to be a smash. Brees is going to be a smash. Brees played 95% of the snaps yesterday. No, 88%. Harvey against the Raiders. Probably don't need to take the missile. Jalen Warren, though. Oh, JSN at 1 here. Yeah, Chiefs are only 1 game ahead of the Dolphins. It's true. All right, so we are going to take gonna be a huge James Cook for me. Big James Cook week for me personally. So we got McBride. Man, Bowers is going to be a bit of a tough click this week, I think, against the Broncos. Although McCarthy did just have himself a game. Yeah, ARSB. Yeah, didn't he have a high ankle sprain, St. Brown? That's what I want to say. Maybe that's what was reported. Also, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do a playoff best ball draft next. So looking forward to that. Low ankle sprain. People are saying it's the lowest ankle sprain of all time. All right. Bijan. You know what? I'm just gonna take Trey McBride. I mean, come on. What are we doing, dude? Trey McBride gets 20 every single week. All right. Let's see if we can get the sidekick updated here. Still firing Chiefs in playoff best ball. Our time to fade. No, I am not doing that anymore. No. You gotta take what the room gives you. Don't think I can do it. And that's okay, man. That's all right. It's not the, I don't think it's the Chiefs' year. You are going to be able to get the Chiefs at a very good price. That is certainly true. This will be the best price you're ever going to get on the Kansas City Chiefs in playoff best ball. They rip off, two straight weeks. Then their prices are going to go way back up. Probably next week for the gauntlet and the midden. Honestly, I could not say. I mean, it's not gonna happen until it is not going to happen until the way too early playoff best ball wild card finishes. All right, we have James Cook, we have Trey McBride, Judkins versus these wide receivers. I think I'm just taking Judkins. Judkins against the Titans feels like an absolute layup, like an all-time layup. Isn't this going to be like against the it's going to be like against the Dolphins where every single play is to Quinshon Judkins? Right? Have people started drafting Bengals yet? I did a couple this morning and I didn't see any Bengals drafters, but it doesn't mean that there were no Bengals drafters. I was so proud of my Chiefs and Lions playoff best ball bags until Thanksgiving. My bragging on those might not age so well. Well, yeah. Ben there, buddy. All right. Well, we are going to be a bit behind at wide receiver on this team, but that's okay. And then we can try and do a playoff best ball draft. I think that I just successfully updated the sidekick. I think. Yeah, onto the Jags and the Packers. I agree. Okay, so we've got. I'd like to take T. Higgins. T. Higgins is available. Perfect. So we got the James Cook bringbacks. So we have James Cook, Trey McBride, Quinshon Judkins. I mean, I feel like I might just fuck around and win the playbook, boys. $500 to first place, bro. You love to see it. All right, I'm pretty sure that my sidekick is updated. We're gonna find out very soon, though. If I've done so, I don't have a mathematics degree. How is Sacrilegious feeling about his Colts now? I mean, I assume that Sack is not doing things emotionally, and he is just following the math. So he's probably not getting 2 up or 2 down about his Colts bags. How many of the Ravens, Lions, Chiefs do I think makes the playoffs? I mean, probably just one. Probably just the Baltimore Ravens if I absolutely had to guess. All right, now is Burrow already gone? No, Burrow is still available, and then we've got a Scroller's Delight. We've got Zay Flowers at wide receiver 19. That seems insane. DK Metcalf. I mean, even Troy Franklin. Marvin Harrison Jr. undrafted in this stuff. So there are definitely some angles. Wow, my boy Jets Drop Bombs won the Tiny Turkey. That is fucking sick, dude. I am very proud of you. GM, Temp. Hope you're having a phenomenal day here, bro. All right, Burrow went. Little annoying there. So let's do Trevor Lawrence. And then we're going to shock the world with our next pick, actually. Is Colts losing out the best chance for the Chiefs to make the playoffs? The best chance for the Chiefs to make the playoffs is to simply win all of their remaining games. If the Chiefs win all of their remaining games, then he will be winning. They will make the postseason. That's all there is. That's all there is to it. Playoff best. I actually agree with this. Playoff best ball feels very hard right now. The playoffs are as wide open as it gets. Yeah, Manly Moose knows me. It's time for the Jacoby Myers Industrial Complex, and I'm gonna be happy to do it. The point of best ball is to draft the Sims with a dispassion that would send shivers down Huck's seed spine. Exactly. All right, we're doing it. Jacoby Myers, I drafted him at 3% last week. He's going to be way more than 3% this week. There we go. You know what? And I never do this, but I'm gonna have to pee twice. I gotta pee again. I'm dying. Ugh. What I did is I actually did get up and go to the gym this morning. So I'm a little bit overhydrated, you could say. All right, now I need to share the other window. I need to share Firefox because I've got the Sidekick pulled up here. I think that I have the correct installation in, but we're going to find out. I have 93 of these left to go. Let's find out if I updated it properly. And if not, Sack and the guys can yell at me, but I'm pretty sure I did it right. On a platform where touchdowns are all that mattered, who could have predicted Zay Flowers' role wasn't conducive for touchdowns? Well, I think it's a little bit unfair. ESPN projects Denver and the Rams as the most likely one seed, most likely Super Bowl. Yeah, I think that seems right. All right. So we are back in the playoff best ball streets. And I have no idea what this is going to look like with the sim guiding. Because it feels like just a huge shakeup from last week. A big Denver win, a big Colts loss, right? Colts loss pretty relevant to what we're going on here. And the Lions loss. Yes, I got it checked on the I have it checked on the sim button. All right, starting with Puka. And I am assuming the thing is you can't always get Stafford at the turn anymore. I just checked, and Davis Maddock is going to advance 25 BBM teams. Have fun staying average, everybody. So it's a beautiful thing. Dallas is about to shock everyone. I don't know. Ooh, you know what? I just real quick. Davis is about to do 18 hours of content per day. No, you can't be doing that. It's a joy to take care of a newborn infant, man. Nothing like it. I think the Eagles collapse again and Dallas wins the division. I don't know about that, bro. Wins the division? That seems crazy. I am definitely getting 2023 Eagles vibes though. Ooh, yeah, Grant, you're in the trenches. You're getting it. Okay, so the first round was Puka, Josh Allen. Adams is now the 1-3, JSN 1-4, James Cook and Hurts by I'm Mr. Manager, and then John Solly does Kyron Stafford. So what is the sidekick? Well, yeah, I mean, trust me, it would be nice if I was employed or had my own insurance. All right. What does it want me to do? Does it want me to take JT? Does it want me to take Barkley? Does it want me to take Trevion? Maybe I didn't. Did I not install it right? I think maybe I didn't install it right because I'm getting some serious legeration. Okay, this one's gonna be on. Oh nope, it wants me to take Gibbs. Okay. Jahmyr Gibbs, and then it's definitely going to want me to take Amon-Ra St. Brown, I'm assuming. Well, maybe not. Maybe it wants me to take Drake May. Am I going to do the PGA contest or any contest we get closer to January? Undecided. Undecided. All right, we're going to do it. We're going to take St. Brown and their 30% odds of making the postseason. 2023 Eagles are brutal on defense, way more likely. That's true. Yes. Yeah, I've been heavy on the caffeine and on the I slammed a Propel during the stream, but it's very much just one of those days. I got up and went to the gym at my normal time at 5 a.m. today, but I didn't fall asleep at 8 o'clock the night before like normal. Like I'm trying to get back, staying in the gym and everything, but I'm not sleeping as much. So the my body is responding to that in, I guess, predictable ways of not being near as efficient. Yeah, I think I am definitely doing something wrong as it pertains to the sidekick, but I don't know. I probably need to spend time. I need to download it and figure it out when I'm not streaming and trying to keep track of timestamps and doing all that stuff. All right, so it's definitely going to want me to take JMO next, and then in terms of quarterback, I'm already down to the nubs. Now, it's definitely going to want me to take JMO. The question is, who is it going to want me to take next? So we do Jameson Williams, and then will it want me to start branching out? Because my thought is you want to probably start taking AFC running backs here. Like I would want to take Trevion Henderson over David Montgomery, and I would maybe even want to take Bo Nix here. Yeah, so it wants me to take Troy Franklin next. So what I'm going to do is I am scared of getting stuck with no quarterback. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take Nix first. And I'm totally okay not taking Jared Goff there, because if anyone else takes Jared Goff here, they have hoisted themselves, I think, with their own petard. Do any of these teams make sense to take Jared Goff? Maybe this guy right here with the Josh Allen team, but even that, I don't think so. I think it was better to take Nix, and like Nix could be the only Bronco that hits an optimal lineup. I could see this. I could definitely see the Seahawks bullying their way into the Super Bowl, and I totally agree with this. After the Chiefs and Lions losses last week, I definitely think you can basically draft whoever you want. I think you can draft Jaguars. I think you can draft Chargers. I think you could draft a Chargers Seahawks Super Bowl, basically. Behold says if the Bengals make the Super Bowl, he just won the way too early. Well, hey man, I'll be rooting for you. Frankly, I'll be rooting for all of you guys. Because I don't think it's going to be my year, because I can't just spam the Chiefs button. And if you can't just spam the Chiefs button, then what do you have left? Now, I'm going to take Goff first here. It's interesting that it is showing Mahomes as an option for me. Okay, so we're going to take Goff first. Now, let's see. Does it want me to take Montgomery? I would think Derrick Henry is a better pick. I would think Henry seems way better because we have Nick's Goff, but it feels better. Yeah, I'm gonna take Henry, and I think based on reading this room, everyone's kind of staying in their own lane. I bet I'm maybe even able to get Montgomery at the next piece. Yes, and also Henry is a way better advance rate piece, and I think I am gonna try and draft some more of the advance rate guys this year because that is also one of the things I think I've noticed from drafting with the tool this year is that the sim version of the tool compared to the classic version of the tool from last year does seem to like the advance rate pieces a smidgen more than I expected. There's and maybe that was always just my own reading of the tool, but it seems like you're doing way less of the, Ty Johnson is the most important man in the world type stuff. Like it's a lot more high projected, like round 10 is a lot more high projected guy from a wild card team. So like Amari and Hampton versus Ray Davis, it's given you a lot more of Amari and Hampton there. I tend to agree with Joel here. I just don't see it with the Colts. The Colts feels like we had our moment in the sun with the Colts, and the Colts experience is now over. That's my read of the situation. I could be wrong. I mean, I've been wrong about lots of stuff before. But come on, man. Are the Colts winning the AFC? I don't know. Is Hampton back this week? It sounded like he was almost back last week. But then again, the dude dislocated his ankle. So this might be an Isaiah Pacheco situation. Yeah, I think JT at 10, that seems like East of Eden, what you did with Adams and Taylor, that feels a lot better to me. Yeah, Bo Nix favored to win the AFC. That's what I'm pulling up right now. So the win conference odds, if we do bet 365, so the Rams are favored at 225 to win the NFC. Then there are, between the Bills and the Chiefs, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 teams that are between 4 and 8 to 1. So it's just basically like, it's just not narrow at all. All right. So now we are at Michael Pittman Jr. and Amari and Hampton. So it's wanting me to add in another AFC team. Interesting that it's not wanting me to do Mark Andrews. Because I think, is there a good Broncos player? Not really. I'm gonna do Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is down. I would assume the sim probabilities have to be relatively close if he's listed as the third player. But we're gonna add Mark Andrews in. Montgomery did go, by the way. So Montgomery went to John Solly over at the other turn. We could do Hampton here. We could do Ladd here. We could do Worthy here. But sure, you know what? Let's just ride with the computer. We'll take Hampton. So we have Bo Nix as an advance rate / he could just outscore Goff in a Broncos-Lions Super Bowl. We have Goff, Gibbs, St. Brown, and JMO. We have Henry, Hampton, and Mark Andrews as pieces that could all contribute. So we probably should just add in another AFC team. I disagreed with your Colts are dead take before, but the Jones injury changes that a bit, combined with them no longer being... Yeah, they're only 38% to win the division. Evan Ingram, just a Commanders thing, are going to continue to happen. I don't love that. I think it's probably just a Commanders thing. Could go Tesley. You know what? Keep the Chief. It was a great Thanksgiving. I had a great time, man. I was Thanksgiving is the only thing that could have made it better would have been the Kansas City Chiefs winning or me winning the tiny turkey. Ramsey, thank you, brother. It is a tough year to be born in the kingdom. I was actually telling that to my wife. I was like, this is going to be awful. He's going to be born into a world where the Chiefs don't make the postseason, and he's going to get to be like 6 years old, and he's going to be like, Dad, why do we root for these losers? And I'm not going to have an answer for him. Is this a time for generational wealth loading up on the Chiefs and playoff best ball? I mean, I'll tell you what, if they win their next 2 games, you're going to be like, fuck. Boy, should have taken all the Chiefs. Interesting that I guess Lad, so it just wants another Charger, which I guess is probably right. So we've got Nix, Goff, Gibbs, Henry, Hampton, Puka, St. Brown, J-Mo, Mark Andrews, and Lad McConkey. Chiefs, Chargers, Chiefs, Ravens. Puka's our advance rate. Easy game. Oh, this Chiefs team is way better than last year. I agree. Took my kid to his first Browns game yesterday, 8-year-old. On the way home, had to talk about one day will be good and it's going to be awesome. Oh, that is so good, man. That is golden. All right, boys, I'm going to call it. Love all you guys. Appreciate all of you. I'll be back with you guys. So tomorrow we're doing ADP chasing, special in-season ADP chasing. Then we have the Swolecast at 11, and I'll probably have something for you guys in the afternoon on this channel, but not certain about that. So don't quote me on that. But make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed for daily fantasy football videos, and I will see you guys back